Today we discuss about one of the important issue which most of the teachers faced. When we start our profession or when we get into teaching or when we get into the classroom, sometimes there are a lot of things which strikes to our mind. Say for example, the time management, stress management, or sometimes even how to handle the entire situation. In that case, we come across with so many other unwanted, unnecessary pressures on us which we need to deal with it. So, keeping all these things in mind, today we discuss about what are our mental blocks which trouble us when it comes to our profession is concerned. Now let us discuss from where we get all these mental blocks. Is it from outside world, or is it from management, or is it from within, or self created? That is something which we need to understand today. Now when I use these mental blocks, this is something which is self created most of the times, or rather self assumed, or rather I can also say that it is something which is you yourself invited sometimes, that yes, this is what I can't do, this is what I am not able to do, this is what it is impossible from my side to achieve it. So let us try to come out of all these things and try to make ourselves more free from all these blocks and try to be better as a teacher and of course as an individual also. Now when I use this word mental blocks, the peer factors like maybe pressure, or sometimes deadlines, or sometimes maybe fear of not performing better, that is again self assessed, or fear of maybe the entire outcome of the activity which is not in your control. Say for example, if you are a teacher, if you are in the class, you are worried about results, still exams yet to happen, still you need to complete the syllabus, still you need to give the entire confidence to the students so that they can face the exam confidently. But keeping all these things aside, you are worried about results. So these kind of mental blocks will try to put you down, which we need to understand. The first important issue to come out of mental block is fear. Now when I use this word fear, I am sure all of us are fear about one or the other issues. I am not denying that. But here I am talking about those fear factors which is self invited. Say for example, underperforming. Now question comes, who has decided that you are going to underperform? Most of the times you yourself have decided that yes, I can't do it, let me not do it, or rather sometimes I am not able to do it, I will not attempt it only. So this kind of fear factor what we need to overcome is very important. And again when it comes to the fear, see, most of us will not attempt only. In fact, I suggest you fail but you attempt. When you attempt, when you fail, you gain experience, that will be the stepping stone for your success probably for the next time. But without attempting, giving up is there, no, that is what we are talking about mental blocks, which we need to be very careful. Again the fear of failure, fear of probably not performing better, or fear of certain uncertainties which you would have imagined, it may happen or may not, of course, but the thing is you have self proclaimed yourself that yes, I am not going to pass this, or I am not going to clear this, I will not do it. So these kind of fear factor which you need to come out of it. Then there are some cases where we need to have some fear also. In fact, psychology says that you should have some fear that will improve your performance. That is fine, that is well accepted, but that fear should be under controllable conditions. Like if you don't give a fear of exam, students may not study, or if you don't give yourself a fear of failure, you may not perform. But that fear should not dominate you, and that should not take away your work completely, that you need to be taken care. And second mental block could be Result. I am very sure every teacher is worried about the word called result. In fact, there are some cases where teachers are more worried about student results, where students themselves are not worried. So, we have come to the situation where students are very happy nowadays in the classroom, but teachers are under stress. Anyway, fun apart, results we have to be very careful about the student. In fact, certain management also claims that based on student results, teacher performance will be assessed. That is fine, but at the same time you should also be in a position to understand that results can be achieved only when you have a concentration, only when you have a particular approach to a particular problem, or result can be achieved only with a consistent approach in a particular manner to a particular problem. So, you cannot say suddenly if you get 100% result, it does not mean that you have achieved 100% actual results. It could be fake, or it could be just manipulative. My understanding with the result is, it is your effort should be consistent, your effort should be 100%. In fact, when I was a student, my teacher used to tell me, don't go behind the rank, go behind 100 marks. If you get 100 out of 100, you will definitely get a rank, and if you want to get only rank, you may not get 100 out of 100. So, that is something, your effort should be consistent. Naturally, result has to be 100%. So, that is the approach when it comes to our mental blocks, like what will be the result, how I am going to achieve, what are the problems I am going to face, and all those things. Please come out of it, think positively, think practically, and try to think beyond the result. It is not that only result will assess you. Now, when we are talking about next mental block is the time. Now, when I use the word time, all of us know that we have only 24 hours, 168 hours in a week, and 365 days probably in a year, and other so on. Now, the issue here is, when I say the time factor, the 24 hours, how we are using judiciously is the question. Rather, the 7-8 hours what we spend with our profession, that we need to be taken care of. Say 4-5 hours whatever we are with the students, or with teaching 3-4 hours. See, let us try to make that time in a such a manner that it should be productive for you and useful to the students. Now, question comes, how we are going to deal with the time factor. See, most of us have complained today, sir, I don't have time, sir, I have shortage of time, or I can't do this because my schedule is so busy. So, try to accommodate all those things which you can do it, definitely you can do it, provided you are not having any mental blocks. That you need to be very careful. Again, when I am referring to the time, the another issue is the way how you give time for yourself in terms of learning. That is also important. If you are teaching, that means you are in a consistent learning process also, which you have to be very careful. Most of us have thought, since I have become a teacher, since I am in a profession of teaching, there is nothing to do with learning. No, teaching is a part of learning, or rather I can say that learning is a continuous process, or it is a continuous journey, where more you learn, more effective what you can teach. So, you have to be careful when it comes to the learning, and for learning you have to make yourself available in terms of 1 or 2 hours. Of course, even if it is not possible, whatever time you can contribute, which you can definitely invest on yourself in terms of learning. So, time management, or a coming out of mental block of a time issue, is also very important. Now, after that, after understanding fear, after understanding the result, after understanding the time, the most important factor which all of us feel about mental block is, it is a teamwork. Sir, I am ready to do, I am very good, I am a team member, I am very cooperative with others, but others are not. This is what we are listening from teachers. It should not happen. You take the lead, you take the initiative and you make yourself what you want to convey. So naturally that will attract and that will make others also to come along with you, so that you can do whatever you want in terms of teamwork is concerned. See, today we are working and also we are practicing about team activity. Those days are gone where we try to highlight only one person as a leader and he used to do everything. No, today is the world where we are talking about team activity, team understanding. So you have to come across and understand each other mentality, wavelength, so that you can also be a team member. So that's very important. So another block which I said, the team, you have to take the issue. Most of us say that no, my team is not good, my colleagues are not good, my other people who are associated with the work related activities are not good, I will not involve myself. No, you have to come out of that block also and try to make yourself comfortable, available. Others what they do it, at secondary. First you take the initiative, first you start, you take the first step out. So that is how somewhere you can come out of that and try to attract others also. See, in our case the another block is who will take the first step, that is another issue. So why don't you take that opportunity and make a beginning. So that's another block which I find which we need to come out of it. The next one is motivation. This is the root cause of all the problems, what I feel at least, because the motivation is something which we need to keep it alive. When I talk about particularly any activity or any issue, sir, it's a monotonous work, I am doing from many years, I am not happy, or let it happen. So that kind of attitude, or somewhere where you have lost interest, or there are some cases where you yourself are out of mind or situation and say that yes, I am no more interested in doing that work. So these are the issues which normally we find with the teachers. Or now the another trend is like a age gap. Suppose if you are a senior teacher and there is a junior teacher, or there are some cases where your own students have become teachers. In that case, how you are motivating yourself to be a part of team, that is also important. Where another external factors like management or any other authorities, how they are taking care of you, how you are involved with yourself, and could be the issue of your remuneration or other facilities or appreciation. We can also not forget about the politics and other issues which are involved. So let us try to be motivated ourselves by telling that you are in such a profession where you have to be regularly updated, upgraded, and also you have to be with your students in such a way that they get motivation from you. Naturally, if your students have to derive motivation from you, then you also have to be motivated. So that is something which we are talking about, coming out of a mental block and try to be very enthusiastic, positive, and be motivated, so that you can pass on the same energy level to your students also. See, most of the times, in fact in our learning experience also, I am sure the people who are watching this, even they could have also have this experience, that there are some classes which turned out to be very interesting, there are some classes which turned out to be very boring, of course, when we are students. Why that happened? That means the teacher who is involved in the teaching process, he or she himself is not prepared to give their best. Naturally that can be identified by the students, and similarly they reciprocate. So that we need to understand and that we need to realize. Of course, every day may not be the same day, but still you have to be active enough to give the best or give the positive output or to give the maximum output to the students, where they feel that yes, this is worth when it comes to receiving and making a note of it. So that is another issue what we need to discuss when it comes to our mental block. Another important block which we need to understand is growth. The moment we got into the job, we have realized that this is our growth. or most of us have given up, saying that there is no growth at all, or if at all if there is any growth, we ourselves have decided that okay, this is the only level of growth which I can achieve. See, it's a normal human tendency that all of us want to grow in life. Of course, in fact, we should grow also. But now question is, who will determine your growth? Outsiders, or any other supervisors who are taking care of you, or you yourself? The answer is very simple, that you yourself have to determine your growth. When you have to determine your growth, you have to prepare yourself for that growth. How? Consistent development. How? Whatever work you try to take care, that you need to make yourself in such a way that it should be visible, it should be useful, it should be productive, and it should be recognized by others. Only then you can expect the growth. See, growth will not come to you and say that accept me. You have to prove yourself, so that the growth will definitely probably seen or appreciated you in your work. So that is something which we need to take care when it comes to the growth factors are concerned. Next factor what we can discuss is communication. This is another important concern which all of us need to understand. See, today communication is everything. In fact, when you call yourself as a teacher, communication is must, or rather I can say that only communication will determine how effective you are as a teacher. Now, most of us, when it comes to communication, we have our own fears, we have our own mental blocks, we have our own constraints, we have our own limitations when it comes to the communication. See, all of us know how to speak, rather we have been speaking from ages. But when it comes to specific time, specific topic, specific situation, all of us will go blank. Or sometimes it's happened that we feel that we have forgotten everything for a moment, or we don't have confidence only to speak. So we have to be careful about these factors. See, if you are a teacher, if you are dealing with students, you have to convey the message, and the message should be with a effective communication. Now, when I am dealing with that communication, let it be any language. Most of us have to be good at English in these days because of the communicative language, or any other language which we are dealing with it, local language, or your the language, the spoken language, or even the medium of instruction and other things. But the confidence and the authority on the communication makes you more positive. See, when I say communication, you need not to be expert on that, or rather nobody is expert when it comes to communication, but you can improve consistently, so that your communication will improve, and that will be received positively by the other end, that is students. Now, when I say communication, the way how you make complex things simple, simple things more understandable. So that's what we talk about communication. Most of us have a misconception that if you speak big words, if you speak heavy words, or if you speak the words which are have multiple meanings, dictionary words, no, that doesn't mean communication. Communication means simple, easy, and those words which everybody can recognize and understand. Especially when you are dealing with the students, you have to use the simple language which is easy for them to understand. So the mental block what I am trying to refer here is, you yourself have decided that yes, I cannot speak, I cannot remember, I cannot concentrate, or I cannot probably perform. So these kind of issues which most of us will feel, we have to come out of this. See, some teachers ask, sir, what I have to do to improve my communication, or what I have to do to build the confidence. See, answer is very simple. You have to have a consistent practice. More you write, more you learn. More you speak, more you experience you gain. So there are lots of small tips which you can make use of it and make yourself more confident. So communication is must today. Please remember, it has become a most important part of our life and most important part of our profession. We have to be good at our communication. After communication, the next important point which I want to relate here is confidence. Normally some teacher asks, sir, from where we get confidence? See, confidence is within. You have to exhibit at the right time. Or confidence is nothing but your method or level, or probably the way of making other people think positive about yourself. Or confidence is nothing but the way in which you conduct the activity without any fear. See, when we talk about this word confidence, the most important part, which is also in the qualities of the teacher, which highlights, see, most of us will claim that, sir, I do not have confidence, or I am having lack of confidence. It is nothing like there is a lack or you do not have, it is within which you need to identify yourself, or you have to make practice in such a way that your confidence will boost, or you have to gain with some experience. Say for example, if you have problem speaking in front of 100 people, first to start with 10 people, then 20, 30, 50, then automatically confidence will gain. It is like how you learn two-wheeler. First day only you cannot take your two-wheeler and you will become perfect. First you will go slow, then you will try to balance properly, then within few days with practice you will become expert in driving your vehicle. Similarly, you have to go for a practice, only then confidence will come, and that confidence is very important, or rather I can call it as a must, because it is something which will determine that how confidently you are able to speak. In fact, there are some cases where confidence will determine the level of subject knowledge what you have. Sometimes there are instances where you know everything, but because of confidence or lack of confidence you are not able to express it, or you are not able to convey it, or you are not able to transfer it from your level to the student level. So ultimately you are also not happy, students are also not happy. So that confidence makes you more positive when it comes to the acceptance is concerned. So communication and confidence, and I normally say it is like two faces of the same coin, it goes hand in hand. So when you have communication, confidence will come. When you have confidence, naturally your communication will be good. So we have to take care of this as a must, otherwise naturally it will reflect back on your profession. So this mental block also we need to take care. Then when it comes to the next one, concentration, right? You must have heard this from your students, I do not have concentration, or I cannot concentrate. This is simple reason what some of the students give. Students, it is okay, but being a teacher we have to be careful when I use this I do not have concentration. See, concentration is nothing but a systematic approach for a particular activity so that it can be achieved properly. Or confidence is nothing but, we can also say that 100% approach to a particular issue, right. So this is something which we need to understand. The confidence is very important, the way in which you deal with the activity. When I say confidence, concentration also to be followed, right. It is nothing but how you prepare. Say for example, whenever we are doing some important activity, we pay 100% concentration. Say if I am driving the car, I will pay 100% concentration. Why? Because I want to be very careful. I do not want to invite any problems, or I do not want to come across with any accident. So I will be very careful. Similarly, your concentration is also nothing where you unnecessarily invite problems, or unnecessary you come across with any problem. You pay your attention 100% so that you can do your work properly. So concentration is must. In fact, nowadays we also claim that meditation or your prayers or your so any other mode which helps you to be at peace, definitely with those methods you can improve your concentration level, which are prescribed by most of your management, or sometimes even from the authorities also. So whatever you do, your concentration should be intact. That is very important. communication, confidence, concentration, all these things goes hand in hand, or rather it is something like where you have to make all these things together so that it will affect. Your communication will not be complete without confidence, your confidence will not come without concentration. So, all these things goes together. Now, another issue or another block is about your remuneration. This is sensitive issue also, where all of us will expect best for whatever efforts we put in. See, money should not be the only criteria to decide about our quality of work. Next, then sir, what are other factors which will determine? According to me, there are a lot of other factors also play an important role when it comes to your quality of the work, like self satisfaction, second happiness, third one your happiness with the world, connecting with the world, fourth one probably you can also say that you are happy that others are happy with you, or you can also say that you are happy that you have made somebody happy through your work. So, all these factors play an important role to determine your remuneration. Today, looking at remuneration only, we decide that yes, I will not do this, or even if I do this, I will not go beyond this, or you have decided yourself that no, I have to only do only this much. These are the things which we need to come out of when it comes to our remuneration. Our mental blocks are very simple. It says that yes, I am getting this, I will not do that, or I am getting that much, I will only do this much. These are the things which we have to come out as a mental block, which we need to take care, especially when it comes to youngsters. First they decide about the remuneration, then they think about the work. It should be other way actually. First you should decide about the work, then remuneration will come automatically. Sometimes it may take little time, but it will come. See, hard work never go waste. You have to have concentration, you have to have confidence, you have to have some amount of patience where you get your whatever due in the form of remuneration, it will come. Next one we can also add here as a mental block is your classroom management. See, we as an individual I am good, but when it comes to controlling people, especially when it comes to the students, few people have given up the profession saying that I cannot manage, I cannot control, or I am not able to hold the session confidently or the class confidently. That is also a mental block which need to be taken care, or we need to come out of. See, when you are in a group, when you are in a classroom atmosphere, or when you are in a systematic process, you have to have a self awareness and confidence that yes, I can do this. If not, take a help of others, or if not, come out of some method which will make you easy, which will make you more confident that you can handle those issues properly. Finally, when I have to say about the mental blocks, as I was telling you, what are our mental blocks? These are the mental blocks which are created by ourselves. When I say this, the next question is very obvious: who is going to solve this? Answer is also very simple: only we have to solve our own mental blocks. Now, when I say this again, the next question is how? There are lot of methods, procedures, activities, as we discussed some of the important points. If you follow all these things, naturally over a period of time, you yourself will come out of all these mental blocks, and you yourself feel confident, and you will be ready to face any type of activity, any challenges, any activities which is expected by your management or your friends or your fellow colleagues or even students, where you will turn out to be an successful or I can call it as a effective teacher.